Welcome to our video on July 2019 astrology forecast, including a total solar eclipse on the 2nd of the month and a partial lunar eclipse on the 16th. And that's corresponding with lunar phases of both new and full moons on the 2nd and the 16th as well. Now, the monthly ingresses, we're going to go over those two, and we're also going to go over the guardian angelic forces of the Archangel Raphael and the Archangel Michael or Michael, the horoscope houses, station changes, and planetary aspect predictions. First, our disclaimer. Watching this video or reading this document, the document attached to it, is an act of spiritual willpower, and any such action is considered magic. High magic should be used with all mindfulness, since powerful forces of manifestation are unleashed. This is intended exclusively for entertainment purposes. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. I'm a Rosicrucian seer. I'm a biblical astrologer, Christian psychic, and Gnostic mystic. And this is a Readings by Rosemary angelic transmission. Now, regarding July of 2019, the following lunar phases also, we're going to go over, again, the planetary ingresses, the natural horoscope houses, the station changes, planetary aspects, elemental and planetary guardian archangels, and zodiac angels using Greenwich Mean Time. Now, we're going to start off with the new and full moon, again, the new moon on the 2nd and the full moon on the 16th of the month of July. And it's going to be, the new moon is going to coincide with the total solar eclipse, and the partial lunar eclipse is going to coincide with the full moon. Now we're going to go over just that very briefly. I just have a simple diagram for you that we're going to go over for you. All right. Now, what we have is, let me, we're going to make the lighting just a little easier for you to see this. Okay. Now, on the 2nd of the month, we have a total solar eclipse on the new moon on the 2nd in the sign of Cancer, the crab. Okay? And on the 16th of the month, we have a partial lunar eclipse on the full moon in Capricorn. So it's a partial lunar eclipse in the full moon in Capricorn on the 16th. And again, in the sign of Cancer, the crab, we have a total solar eclipse. And that's going to be on the 2nd of the month, and that's, again, on a new moon. And those new moons with those lunar phases always coincide. Regarding the full moon goes with the lunar eclipses, and the new moon goes with the solar eclipses. Okay. Now, also, we're going to now get into some other aspects here. We're going to get into the ingresses and the stations, and then we're going to give you some planetary aspects. They're kind of like formulas, the planetary aspects. They're kind of, similar to formulas. Now, this chart down here, we have made another video, and it's about Lammas Eve. It's July 31st, 2019. It's July 31st. It's not only Lammas Eve, the eve before Lammas, which is on the 1st of August, but also what we have is we have Harry Potter's birthday is on Lammas Eve. It's on July 31st. And so in 2019, we've done an astrology chart, so anybody who wants to celebrate Lammas Eve, or anybody who wants to celebrate or have a party like a Harry Potter party, we've made a chart for that. We've made a whole separate video about that. In this video, we're going to focus and concentrate on the ingresses and the general planetary aspects, okay? Then we'll get into the focus ones in the other video. Okay, so we're going to focus on this one right here first. We're going to go ahead and bring it in closer for you. And so you can really focus on this upper chart here. All right. Now, we have the on the 1st of July, the 1st of July in 2019, we have Mars ingress into Leo. So we have Mars ingressing into the sign of Leo the Lion, which is analogous to the natural fifth house of children and creativity. The Planetary Seraphim Samael visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Verchiel for that one. Next, we're going to have on the 2nd of July, we're going to have a new moon. Again, that's the new moon we talked about just earlier in the sign of Cancer the Crab, which is akin to the natural fourth house of hearth, home, and family. Now, the Planetary Archangel Gabriel is visiting the dwelling of Zodiac Angel Muriel. And the elemental archangel for the sign of Cancer the Crab is the Guardian Angel Gabriel, who presides over all of the water signs. Now, Gabriel is represented by this Merkaba field, the Merkaba field which represents the water elements and the Archangel of Water, who is Gabriel. Gabriel is also the planetary archangel of the moon. Okay, so that's the Merkaba field for that. Now, again, so we have that's the sign of Cancer the Crab here. It's in the natural fourth house, and it's again analogous to hearth, home, and family, the natural fourth house. Okay, and Cancer is also a water sign. It's cardinal water. So the Archangel Gabriel will visit the dwelling of Zodiac Angel Muriel, Muriel being the Zodiac Angel of the sign of Cancer, and Gabriel being the planetary angel of the moon, because the moon and the sun were considered to be ancient planets. All right, now, on July 3rd, 2019, Venus ingress into the sign of Cancer the Crab as well, and that will be, that's again, Cancer similar to the natural fourth house of hearth, home, and family. And the Planetary Archangel Anael, who's the Planetary Archangel of the planet Venus, visits the abode of Zodiac Angel Muriel. Again, Muriel being the Zodiac Angel of the sign of Cancer, the Crab. Okay? And now we're going to go to the 16th. We're going to go to the 16th of July, 2019. We have our full moon in the sign of Capricorn, which we discussed earlier. And it's analogous to the natural 10th house of social standing and fame. Planetary Archangel Gabriel visits habitation of Zodiac Angel Anael on this full moon event. The elemental archangel for Capricorn is Guardian Angel Uriel. Guardian Angel Uriel is for all of the earth signs, presides over all of the earth signs. This is a Merkaba or Merkaba field for Uriel for earth, okay? Again, so this here is again, the full moon, the full moon's up here. This is the new moon here in Cancer, and it's the full moon up here in the sign of Capricorn, the goat, okay? So that's going to be an intense time, and it's be a very good time if you want to increase your popularity or you want to increase your social standing. And you can use the Guardian Angel of the earth signs, who is Uriel, and he can help you, and also the Planetary Archangel of the moon is Gabriel, and also you can utilize the Zodiac Angel Capricorn, who is Anael, to help you and assist you in these matters. All right? Okay, now moving to the 19th of July. And on the 19th, we have Mercury. We have this, the planet Mercury will be retrograde at that time in the sign of Cancer the Crab also. So we have Mercury here in the sign of Cancer, which is akin to the natural fourth house of hearth, home, and family. And the Planetary Archangel Raphael visits dwelling with Zodiac Angel Muriel. Now, Archangel Raphael is also associated with all the air signs, and so Raphael is associated with the planet Mercury and all the air signs. Okay, and again, Cancer is a water sign, but we're talking about what Mercury is also the planetary archangel of Mercury. So we have Raphael being the planetary archangel of Mercury, but we have Cancer is a water sign. But just for your information, Raphael also happens to be the angel who presides over all the air signs, even though in this we're not speaking of air signs. Okay, now, again, the sign of Cancer the Crab is akin to the natural fourth house of hearth, home, and family. Planetary Archangel Raphael visits dwelling of Zodiac Angel Muriel, so Muriel of the Zodiac Angel of the sign of Cancer the Crab, and Planetary Archangel Raphael, who's the archangel, the planetary archangel of the planet Mercury. Now remember, Mercury was a Roman god, the messenger of the gods, okay? And Raphael is the divine physician. Also, Raphael and Mercury is also, in Greece, it was Hermes Trismegistus, who wrote the Emerald Tablet, and the Emerald Tablets, when Thoth was in Atlantis, it was Thoth of Atlantis is the same as Mercury, or Hermes Trismegistus in Greece. Thoth of Egypt and Thoth of Atlantis, okay, all associated with Mercury. And the modern Christendom associated with St. Paul. And that's about intelligence and having creativity and wonderful imagination. All right? Okay, now on July 23rd, the Sun will ingress into the sign of Leo the Lion. The Sun ingress into the sign of Leo the Lion. And this sign of Leo the Lion is similar to the natural 5th house of children and creativity. Planetary Archangel Michael, or Michael, visits the abode of Zodiac Angel Verchiel. So Verchiel is a Zodiac Angel who presides over the sign of Leo the Lion. Verchiel is a Zodiac Angel of Leo. And we have the Archangel, the Planetary Archangel of the Sun is Michael, or Michael. Again, the Sun and the Moon were considered to be planets, wanderer planets. Now for Michael, the Merkaba field from Michael, this is the Merkaba field from Michael, Archangel Michael, who happens to be the archangel who presides over all of the fire signs as well. But in this setting, it's for the planetary, him being the planetary archangel of the Sun. All right, and Leo happens to be a fire sign anyway, so that one kind of fits anyway. Okay, so that's again Verchiel and Michael. Now moving to July 28th of 2019, Venus, the planet Venus, ingress the sign of Leo the Lion, which is analogous to the natural 5th house of children and creativity. So we have Leo, who's associated with children and creativity, and that's again associated with the natural 5th house. The planetary Archangel Anael, who of Venus, visits the abode of Zodiac Angel Verchiel. Verchiel being the Zodiac Angel of Leo, and Planetary Archangel Anael being the planetary archangel of the planet Venus, okay? And so that's Venus ingressing into Leo. So we have Venus going from the sign of Cancer into the sign of Leo, okay, and that's going to be on the 28th. And Mercury, again, is retrograde at the time that we mentioned it. And Mercury is going to be going retrograde on the 7th of July. So regarding station changes, July 7th, Mercury turns retrograde, okay, while transiting through the sign of Leo. So we have here later on, you'll see when we go over the planetary aspects here in a moment, we're going to be having a retrograde Mercury going back into the sign of Cancer the Crab, going retrograde, all right? So those are the ingresses and the station changes for the month of July in 2019. Now we're going to get into the planetary aspects. They're kind of like formulas. They're formulas, and they're actually very, very interesting. And we're going to go over them for you, where we have Mercury retrograde in Leo. So we have Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo the Lion here is going to be conjunct Mars in Leo on July 8th of 2019. So on the 8th, Mars in Leo, we have Mercury retrograde in Leo here, and we have conjunct Mars in Leo, and that because you see Mercury here in Leo and Mars both in Leo here in the same house, both here in the same house. All right, now what this means is, what this planetary and zodiacal formula, when you have a conjunct like this, what we'll have is you'll have a revisiting, because of the retrograde aspect of Mercury, a revisiting intelligent discourse in matters of increased competition for giving birth to children and creative projects, since Leo is akin to the natural 5th house of children and creativity. All right, so on July 11th, we have Mars in Leo, square Uranus in Taurus. So Mars in Leo square Uranus in the sign of Taurus, the bull. And on that red line here, you have that. That red line, the lighter red line, is the square. It's kind of a tension. So the sum, or the answer to this equation of Mars in Leo on the 11th, square Uranus in Taurus, is tensions increase regarding the use of activism for purposes of having both the means and the rights to produce children and creative projects, where financial success as well as opportunity are essential for success. All right, now on July 17th of 2019, we have the sign, the planet Venus here in the sign of Cancer, opposing Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. So we have Saturn here, retrograde in Capricorn, the goat. So on the dark red line, again, we have Venus in the sign of Cancer on the dark red line, opposing Saturn retrograde on the dark red line in Capricorn. Now the sum, or the total of this equation, would be the perfect spouses are created for individuals possessing success via imposed strict modes of conduct upon oneself and others, accomplished through a return to authoritarian, religious, or scientific regulations. Okay, again, perfect spouses are created for individuals possessing success via imposed strict mores and modes of conduct upon one's self and others, accomplished through a return to authoritarian, or kind of like strict or stringent, religious or scientific regulations. Okay, all right. Now on July 18th, we have Venus in Cancer. And again, July 18th, we have the planet Venus in the sign of Cancer, trine Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Pisces, the fish. So that's a trine. So on a trine, you have a blue line. You have a blue line, and again, Venus in Cancer, trine Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And the sum of this equation is perfect spouses are cultivated through use of revisiting otherworldly venues that are cherished or enjoyed in childhood. Perfect spouses are cultivated through use of revisiting otherworldly venues that are cherished or enjoyed, that were cherished or enjoyed in childhood. Moving to July 21st, the planetary aspect, we have Venus in the sign of Cancer, the crab, opposing on this other dark red line here, opposing Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Capricorn, the goat. The sum, or the total of this equation, is elegantly chic spouses are cast out of the workaday world and into venues of parental activism aimed towards creating child-safe neighborhoods. All right. Now, July 25th of 2019, we have Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So Mercury's gone from the sign of Leo into the sign of Cancer because it's retrograde. It's going in a retrograde direction. Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer, the crab, conjunct Venus in the sign of Cancer, the crab. So we have conjunct Venus here, so they're in the same house. And the sum or total of this equation is the reinstalling smart homes and smart appliances become best friends to individuals placed into roles of being the ideal spouse. Now on July 25th, now we're talking about sort of a little people being helped to be more perfect spouses by having a lot of technology at their disposal and at their fingertips. Now on July 25th of 2019, Mars in Leo trine Jupiter retrograde in Sagittarius. So again, July 25th, Mars in Leo here, trine on the blue line, we have Jupiter retrograde in Sagittarius. Okay, so here on this blue line. Okay, so we have Mars in Leo here, and this blue line here, it's trine Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, the Archer. And the sum or total of this is competition for success in childbearing, child rearing, and creative projects. Increase exponentially abilities to find autonomy and legacy, affording meaning to one's chosen life path. Now we're going to go over the Hebrew calendar associations and zodiac, or you can call The Hebrew word for zodiac is Mazaroth, placements for planets regarding ingresses. We're going to give you the Hebrew word for the planet and the Hebrew word for the constellation, or the zodiac signs, the constellation. And we're going to give you these formulas because these formulas are actually very important when one is studying Kabbalah or Kabbalah. So it's a very important sort of ability to understand what these sums, what these equations, what they mean. All right? Okay. Now, what we have first is we have the sun, which is called Shemesh. Shemesh, Ingress Leo. Leo is called Ari. The new moon, Levana, called also Rosh Kadesh, in the sign of Cancer, the crab, or Sartan. The full moon, Levana, for moon, called Keseh or Shabbat or Moshiach in Capricorn, in the sign of Gedi, Capricorn. So many my friends who I have who happen to be Jewish had told me that many rabbis feel that a long time ago that the Shabbat or Sabbath or Shabbos was actually the full moon, and because there is a verse in Isaiah, I'll get that verse for you, and the verse is in Isaiah that talks about from new moon to new moon and Sabbath to Sabbath or Shabbat to Shabbat. So that really gives that the impression of that. I'll get that. Since we're going to go over this each month, I'll get that the verse, chapter and verse memorized for you for that. Okay, now Mercury, Kokav or Kokab, Ingress, the sign of Cancer or Sartan. Venus, Noga. Venus is Noga, Ingress Cancer or Sartan. And Venus, I don't know if I've said this wrong. Let me go back. It says Mercury is Kokav or Kokav, Ingress Cancer or Sartan. It is Venus or Noga, Ingress the sign of Cancer as well. Because we meant there's Venus and Mercury kind of going back and forth between these two signs. Okay, in July of 2019. Okay, so also then Venus Noga Ingress into Leo, because Venus is going in this direction because it's direct. Mercury is going in this direction because it's retrograde. Okay, so Noga Ingress Sartan, and Noga Ingress into Leo or Ari. Okay, now Mars Ma'adim, Ingress into Leo, which is Ari. Leo is Ari. Jupiter is Zodiac. And it doesn't, even though we use it here for the planetary aspects, Jupiter doesn't have any ingresses this month. And Saturn or Shabbatai, we use it again for the we use it again for the planetary aspects, but there's no ingress for Saturn or Jupiter during July of 2019. Now Uranus is called Oron, and again we use that also for Uranus, Oron. It's in Taurus, but we use it for a planetary aspect. There are no ingresses for Uranus in Oron in July of 2019. Now for Neptune, again, there's no ingresses, but again, we did use it for a planetary aspect and it's retrograde. Neptune or Rahab. Rahab is the Hebrew word for that planet, and Pluto doesn't have, Pluto's here, and there wasn't any ingress, and Pluto doesn't have a Hebrew name, and it didn't have any ingresses this month. Now keep in mind that achieving goals and accomplishing phenomenal success through magical interventions are all possible if one knows when and whom to evoke. Magicians must also consider how various planetary and zodiacal angelic beings will interact with each other, and making sure to invoke, to call into oneself, call in a God form, or invoke into one's sacred circle, or evoke is to call upon. Potent forces of light that will extend into facets of the Magi's life predetermined by her or him for specific purposes tangential to true will. So your true will, not what you want, but what you will, what you've chosen to do, what you're going to do no matter what. Okay? Now, magic must be taken seriously since it is an ancient method of manifestation, intended for practical victories over constricting forces which set our 3D physical reality into motion. Magic has rules just like any other science, which must be devotedly applied. And it must be devotedly applied and practiced. Okay? Magicians strive not to break natural laws, but rather to understand how Mother Nature manifests her creations so that we are able to work in tandem with her. The information found in this document is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Thank you for joining us, and please join us again.